So where we ended last on the last tutorial, right? We just made the category tab and the account tab. So what we need to do now is we need to navigate to our views folder, then open categories folder, then the categories.py, right? So if you scroll down here, you can see that we need to import this category tab. So just gonna import it from widgets.tables, import category tab. So now we have it here. We need to try and run this and see if this is working, right? So we don't have okay, let's fix something here. We need to get rid of this. So if we run this, right, we're not gonna get anything in our categories data table, because we don't have anything inside our categories table in our database. So let's just run this and see how this looks. If you don't get anything, that means you don't have an error. So let's go to our categories screen. Okay, so we don't have anything here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on this button. So what I'm thinking is if we click this button, we're just gonna have like a model view. We're just gonna position it to the right side. Then we're gonna use that model view to add our data and update our data. So let's go to our text editor. Right. Let me just check if we have this. We have an image of this inside the assets folder, right? So we have category head. So let's open this image. Okay, so this is what we're gonna try and create. Yes. Let's navigate to our widgets folder and open our models.py file. So down here we're gonna say class, we're gonna call it category model, and this is going to inherit from, let's just, okay, do we have a model view? Okay, we already have it. So this is gonna inherit from a model view. Then inside here we're gonna have an ID. This is going to be a string property. Then we're gonna have the category name. This is going to be a string property also. I think we should have a variable we're just gonna call close. So what this is going to do is whenever we try to add or update something, right, we're just gonna send data to this variable, and once this variable gets disturbed or receives something, it's gonna close our model view. So I'm just gonna call it close, and it's going to be a string property also. Then I'm gonna add a callback. This is going to be an object property. Inside here, I'm just gonna say allow none is equal to true. Then I'm gonna say, so if you are going to update this category model, if you're gonna use it to update our categories, right, I'm gonna say on name, right? So whenever this variable name is populated, we're gonna do something. So right here I'm just gonna say define on name, right? Self here we're gonna say instance, then we're gonna pass on the name. Inside here I'm just gonna say self dot ids dot name dot text is equals to name. So we don't have this I'm just gonna, let's look at our image first. This input, this text field, right, with an ID of name, we don't have it yet. but we're just gonna create it. So let's just do this for now. Okay, let's look at our image again. So we have name. Now we have a label which says add category. Then we have this button. So what we can do is, like, when we're updating or adding, we can make sure that this button, we can just change it to update when you're updating, and when you're adding, just add. Same as this label. So if you go to our model view, we can just do this whenever we call the name function or when you do the define on name function. So here I'm gonna say our label. I think let's just call it model title. So you're gonna say self dot ideas dot model title dot text is equals to. So since our category model, we're gonna say add category. So this is going to be update category. Then our button, let's just call it model button. Self dot ideas dot model button dot text is going to be update, and the custom buttons we made earlier, they have an icon. So we just say model button dot icon. We're just gonna use the update icon. So okay, so now let's work on the close function. So here we're gonna say define on close. So here is going to be instance, here it's going to be close, then here we're just gonna say self dot dismiss, right? So since our category model and our account model are going to be similar, right? So I'm just gonna copy this and paste it underneath here. Then I'm gonna change this to account model. So I'm just gonna put some separation here, just gonna put some comments. So this is going to be account model. So let me just copy this and paste it up here, and this is going to be category model. And let me paste something down here. So this is going to be transactions model. So let's go to our builder.log string, and we're just gonna create the category models inside here. So let me just copy this and paste it here. So here I'm gonna say background. We need to make this small cap. So background. I'm just gonna put empty quotes. Here I'm gonna say background color. I'm gonna put 0,0,0,0. That's transparent. Here I'm gonna put an anchor layout here. Inside this anchor layout, I'm gonna say anchor X. I'm gonna anchor everything to the right side. Inside this anchor layout, I'm gonna put a box layout. I'm gonna give this box layout of vertical, size int x. I'm gonna set it to none, and our width, I'm gonna set it to let's say 350 display pixels. So depending with the pixel density of your screen, right, you might as well play around with this display, the number of pixels I'm gonna be using here. We're just gonna be playing around with them so that they suit your screens better, right? I'm gonna give this some padding, this box layout some padding of 10 display pixels. Spacing, I'm gonna set it to 40 display pixels, and I'm gonna say canvas dot for. So here I'm gonna give it a white background. Here I'm gonna say color RGBA. I'm gonna say 1,1,1,1. So this is white. Here I'm gonna say rectangle. Here I'm gonna say self. This is going to be size, self dot size. Then this is going to be pause, self dot pause. So okay, we need to check if this is looking okay, and there's no way to check this now. So let's go back to our categories.py and see if we can make it pop up. So underneath here, we need to add a function. Define, let's call it open add model. So when I say add category is equals to category model. So we need to import this. So okay, here it is. So we're going to import from widgets.models, import category model. Underneath here, when I say add category dot go back is equals to self dot let's call the function add category. So we don't have this function yet, but we're just gonna create it. Let me just create it right now. Define, Control V, self. Here it's going to be instance. For now I'm just gonna put pass, because I'm more worried about checking if our category model is looking okay. So here I'm gonna say add category dot open. Right. So let me put some separation here. So I'm gonna say open models. So while we are at it, right, I'm just gonna create the open update model. So here it's going to be open update model. So this is going to be update category. But this here we just inside here we're gonna add instance. Then in here when I say update category dot id. Let's look at our models.py file. Okay, so we have an id and we have a name. So let's go back to our categories.py. So our id, we're gonna say is equals to instance dot id. Then let me just control D. This one is going to be name. So we need to create, let's put some separation here. So this one is going to be add. This one is going to be update. So we need to copy this. They define, then we paste this here. This here as itself. Okay, comma instance. Then I'm just gonna say pass here. So let's look at our categories.kv. Let's minimize this. Okay, categories.kv, and let's look for a button. Okay, so it's open add model. Okay, fine. Let me just control C this and paste it here. So I'm just gonna run this. Let's go to our category screen. Okay, so our categories model is looking okay. So let's continue working on it. Okay, models.py file. So inside this box layout, right? Let's look at our image. Looking at our image, right? On top we have a label and an icon. So this is our close icon. Then underneath that we have a text field, then some space where we're gonna put our error messages. Then we're gonna add a button. So if you go to our models.py file, right, underneath here we're gonna put in box layout. And we're gonna give this some size int y, which we're gonna set to none, and the height we're gonna set it to 30 display pixels. We're gonna give this some spacing of 10 display pixels. Inside this box layout we're gonna put a name the label. We're gonna give this an empty label an ID of let's scroll down here and we give this okay, our ID was model title. Okay, let's get back here. Our ID is called model title, and then excuse me, underneath this model title, let me just put my phone on vibrate real quick. Sorry about that. So let's proceed. Underneath this ID we're gonna put some text, and our text is going to be add category. Then now we're gonna give this the label font style of title and raw going to be medium, and we're gonna give this just gonna make the text bold. So bold is going to be true. Then next to this MD label, we're gonna put an MD icon button. But first we're just gonna put a float layout. Then we're gonna put the MD icon button inside the float layout. So this float layout, we're gonna give it size int x of none, and the width is going to be self.height. Then inside you're gonna put an MD icon button. We're gonna put an icon of close. So this is going to be an X, exactly like it is in this category add.png. Okay. Then we're gonna say theme, text, color. We're gonna set it to custom. Then text, color. So we're using for gray colors, we're using 8A8C. So we're just gonna maintain that one. So here we're gonna say AD8A8C. Then we're gonna give this a position int. I'm gonna say, okay, let's put this one inside these curly braces. So here we're gonna say center X. I'm gonna set it to 0.5. So this is we're setting it at the center going horizontally. Then here we're gonna say center Y. So now we're just gonna position it at the center going vertically. So this is going to be 0.5. So here we're gonna say on underscore press, say root dot dismiss. So this is a built-in function inside the model view. So whenever we press this icon, our model view is supposed to close. So let's run this and see how this looks. Okay, categories, and okay, this one is appearing at the bottom, so we need to fix this and make it appear at the top. Okay, this is working all right. So let's proceed. So underneath this box layout, the main box layout, we need to add a box layout. So we're gonna give this an orientation of vertical and spacing of 10 display pixels. So we are going to be maintaining 10 display pixels as spacing and padding for a lot of these things in this tutorial. Then underneath here, we're gonna put a box layout. So let's go back to our image. So when we created this model view, right, we gave it some padding of 10 display pixels and some spacing of 40 display pixels. So when we added the first box layout, which we added an MD label and this icon button, right, underneath that box layout, we have some spacing of 40 display pixels. Then we created another box layout, which we're going to put this name here and this text field. But then inside this one, where we are using 10 display pixels. So these are we have 40 display pixels for this first box layout and the second box layout. But inside the second box layout, we're going to be using 10. So underneath this first box layout, inside another box layout, underneath that one, we have an MD label, which we're going to use to display our errors. Then we're going to have This actually looks small. I think we're gonna need to up this to 40 display pixels or 35 display pixels, and we're just gonna do the same for our auth screen, but we're just gonna update our auth screen and our register screen at the end. For now, let's proceed. So let's go to our models.py file. So this box layout, we're gonna give it a size in y of none, and the height we're gonna set to 30 display pixels. Then here we're gonna give this some padding. So we're gonna put 10 display pixels for the left and right padding, but the top and bottom padding we're gonna set it to 0. So here it's going to be 10 display pixels, comma 0. Then we close this. We're gonna put some space in here of 10 display pixels. Then we're gonna say canvas dot before. Here it's gonna be color RGBA. So here we're gonna say RGBA. Let's look at our image, right? So right now we need to create this box around our label in our text field. Okay, so here is going to be hashtag HD8A8C. And here it's going to be line. And this is going to be rounded underscore rectangle. This one is going to be self.x, comma, self.y, comma, self.width, then self.height, comma 1. Then we're gonna say width is equals to 1. So let's just run this and check if it's looking okay. Okay. Let me put an empty box layout underneath this box layout, so that we get everything is just gonna appear, so that this box layout is just gonna push everything upwards. Okay, let's go back here. Inside this box layout, we're gonna put an MD label. We're gonna give the size int x. We're gonna set it to none, and the width, let's set it to 50 display pixels for now. Then if it's too small, we're just gonna adjust it. So that we're gonna give this some text of name, then font style. We're gonna set these to let's say label, and row is going to be medium. Let's look at our image. Okay, so the name is actually bold and it's gray in color. So let's say bold equals to true, and color to the hashtag it's 8D. Then underneath this MD label, put a text field. I'm gonna give this text field an ID of name, And I'm gonna say multi-line, set it to false, and int text. I'm gonna set it to let's say name of category dot. So if you have a better way, you let's say category name, or you can just use that. It's still fine. So you can just with this whatever we're doing in this category to suit whatever you like. So okay, underneath here we need to put an error label. So here we're gonna say MD label. So here we're gonna say give it an ID of model error. So we need to be able to update it from our excuse me, from our Python code. So we're just gonna give this an ID, and we're gonna be using this ID to update the MD label. So here we're gonna say size int y. We're gonna set it to none, and height we're gonna set it to, let's set it to 20 display pixels. Then we're gonna give this some font styling of label and row going to be small. Then we're just gonna say h align. So we're gonna align this the text that's gonna be showing up as errors. We're gonna align it to the center. Okay, underneath here we need to put a box layout. So we're gonna say size int y. We're gonna set it to none, and height we're gonna set it to, so when we're making our old screen, we're setting the height to 30 display pixels, but here we're gonna set it to 35 display pixels. So that let's say if someone is using a touch, right? Let's say they have touch on their laptop or whatever. It's gonna be easier to use the touch, the pressing and everything, because the buttons won't be too small. So here we're gonna say we don't need to set some spacing or anything. So inside here, let's put a box layout. So this box layout, right, we're just putting it so that we need to push the button to the right, like it's done on this category add.png, right? Because so the parent box layout, every box layout comes out with orientation set to horizontal by default. So that's why we didn't set any orientation here. So underneath this box, the empty box layout, we're gonna put in a button. So we created a custom button, right? So we're just gonna use it again here. Custom button. Let's give this an ID. Let's check here. Called it a model button. Okay, paste it here. So our icon is going to be, this one is going to be plus. Text going to be add size int x. Set it to none, and our width we're gonna set it to 100 display pixels. Then on press we're gonna say root dot callback root. So this function is gonna call this callback function here, and this callback function is going to call something inside our categories.py file. So when you pass the root inside the callback, right, so we're going to pass this whole category model inside the callback, so that inside our categories.py file, right, you can access the name. So when we're adding, right, you can be able to fetch the name from the category model. Then we're going to add it inside our database. So I believe excuse me, our model view, let's just test it before we copy it and use it to create our account model. Okay, I think we have an error. This should be closing parentheses. Okay, categories, add new. Okay, so this is looking okay. So we need to copy this, select here, C, put some separation here. So this is going to be model. So let's paste everything here. D, Control V. So here we say add category, so it's going to be add account. Name is going to be name of account. Okay, this is going to remain the same. Here, this one is going to be date account. So let's go back to our categories.py. Let's see. Okay, so let's go to our add category function, right? So we need to get rid of this pass here. So let's say name here. So I'm gonna say instance dot ideas dot name dot text, right? So it's inside this name variable, right? So we're gonna fetch the instance. So remember when we created this this callback function, right? When we were saying root.callback, we're gonna pass the root, right? So we're gonna pass this as an instance, and inside the add category, right, we're just gonna fetch the name ID from the instance, and we're gonna assign it to this name variable, right? So down here, we're gonna say if name is equals to empty, we're gonna say instance dot ideas dot coded model error dot text is equals to, let's just say filling or required field. So this is more like a form validation, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're not gonna be doing a lot of form validation. I'm just gonna put this one just to make everything simpler. But then so if our name variable is not empty, right, I'm gonna say else, right? We're gonna say instance dot close is equals to, let's just say close. We're just gonna pass this string there. So remember our models here, right? When we created this close variable, right? So we said that whenever this close variable is disturbed, right, So here it's gonna be disturbed when you pass the close string. So what it's gonna do after it's disturbed, right? It's just gonna dismiss. So if you go to categories.py file, right? So after the form validation is done, right? The instance.close function is gonna close our model view, right? But after it closes our model view, I'm gonna say self.add category. We made this one when we started creating our categories. Where is it? This also. So here it is. So we're gonna pass the name inside this add category list. So here we're gonna say self.add category is equals to, and here we're gonna say name. Then here we're gonna say add category equals to confirm. Yeah, we created it. Confirm pop-up, right? Okay, here it is. So you're gonna say add category dot title is equals to you. So you want to add this category. Then we're gonna say add category dot callback is equals to self dot, let's just call it add category underscore callback. Then you're gonna say add category dot open. So let me just copy this function here and create it below this add category function. So here I'm gonna say define, then I'm just gonna paste this here. Inside you're gonna be self comma star odds. Then here I'm gonna say name. So name is going to be self dot we need this one, add category. So we only have one item inside the add category list, right? So this is just going to be, name is going to be at index 0. So now we need to create the try block, right? So that we can be able to add the information to our database. So here let's just say on equals to psycop e2 dot connect. So let me open our auth screen. I'm just gonna copy some information. auth.py, go to the top. So I'm gonna copy these. Oh, we had already copied it before. Okay, it's fine. Let me just copy this. Okay, we need to get rid of this and this. Get rid of this also. So here it's going to be values. Here we're gonna say values is equals to string. So let's say self dot user ID comma and we're gonna pass in our name also. So we need to change this to insert into categories. So this is gonna be inserting inside our user ID. We're gonna put our user ID, comma, and our category. Here we're gonna say values. Here then here we're gonna say percentage s, comma, percentage s, yeah, just like this. Let me just go over it. I think everything is okay. We're gonna be able to add our name here. So after adding our name, we should call, what did we call it? Get categories. So that whenever we are done adding something, right, we're gonna call this function and we're gonna be able to populate our table. So let's just paste it here like this. So let's run this and see if we can add something into our categories table. Okay, first let's, okay, really no required fields, so it's black, it needs to be red in color. Name is empty, so this is going to be color. This is going to be red. Okay, let's rerun this. And okay, now it's red in color. So our first category, let's just say traveling. Let's just say traveling. So let's add this. Are you sure you want to add this category? Yes. Okay. We didn't say con.commit. So you say con.commit, and let's try again. You wanna say traveling. So let's add is no attribute delete category. Delete category. Okay, let's go upwards. So we added when we're adding our categories, right? Our category tab is this delete category function. So what we're gonna do is so see this one. Then say ov self comma instance, then pass. So let's rerun this. I believe we're gonna have one data entry in our data table. Okay, so now we are traveling here. So let's go back to our text editor. So to avoid getting more errors, right? So let's just finish working on this delete category function. So underneath there, just put some separation. So this is going to be delete. So what we're gonna do here is let's put some space down so we can have space to work with. We're just gonna get rid of this pass. We're gonna say self dot. So we create, when we added this add category, we also added delete category. So self dot delete category, we're just gonna say is equals to instance dot id. So we're just gonna get the ID of our data entry. Then underneath here we're gonna say delete category is equals to let's just copy this. Let's type it properly. So D Control X, so D Control X here. Get rid of this. So you want to delete so D Control C. Here I'm gonna say okay. Self comma star args. So this is not going to be add category callback, but delete category callback. Then inside here we need to copy this. Get rid of the spacing here. So this one is going to be excuse me, delete from categories where ID equals to percentage s, and our values are going to be self dot let me just copy this, self dot delete category believe this is working all right, so let's test it out. Okay, are you sure I want to delete this category? Okay, why did this delete some? Okay. Let me just run this again. I want to see if the self.get categories has an error, or because there was a problem with the delete function. Okay, so it deleted, right? But then it didn't update. Let me try putting, okay. Let's go back up here. Get category. Okay, so let's try setting a self dot what did we call it? We called it self dot categories. So D Control C. So here we're gonna set it to an empty list, right? So that whenever we have new data in there, so it's only gonna have the new data. then this on categories is going to be false. Okay, so let's run this and see if this worked. Category screen. So okay, this is working okay. So let me add something. Here I'm gonna say ASTFT add, and let me add something here. Say okay, traveling. I'm gonna say good. Then this is going to be, let's say, sales. So let's delete the first one. Okay, so now this is working properly. So now let's work on updating this. So if we click this, right, if we created our functions properly, this is gonna fill out our model views for us. So let's click this. Okay, traveling. So after here, right, if you wanna say traveling, if we click this button, right, it should be able to update for us. But we haven't set up the update function yet. So let's go to our text editor. Then we can set this up. So where do we put our update? Okay, this is update. So what we can do is we can just copy this here. Okay, and get rid of this pass. So it's going to be update and date. Are you sure you want to update? Update. Okay, but now we're gonna need an so to update our category, we're gonna need an ID. So here we need to say ID equals to instance.id. So here it's going to be ID let's just, and we change this to ID and we change this to index 1. Okay, I think this should be fine. So we need to copy this and paste it down here. Let's go up here. So this is going to be, let's just get rid of this whole statement here. So this is going to be update categories set categories equals to %s where ID equals to %s. So this here is going to be ID and name. So this should be fine. So let's run this. Okay, let's open our categories. So let's update traveling. So let's put a Z here and update. You sure you want to update this category? Yes. Valid syntax, run one update, set category. Okay. Close. Let's get back here. Update category, set category where. So we need to, let's control D, then control X this, then we're gonna put the ID at the end because we said category, right? So we need to add the category first and the ID because we need to put the where last, right? So, let's run this and see if this works now. Okay, categories, everything. Okay, put a Z here. Date, yes. Okay, so we have a Z here. So let's just put a just do the right thing and just get rid of this Z. So date. Okay, so now I believe we can start working on the accounts, right? So these search bars are just gonna sort them out at the end. So let's create our account screen. So what we need to do is we don't have it. So let's open our terminal. So here we're gonna say ed views, then inside here we're gonna say Python create screen.py, then we're gonna call this accounts. Okay, we made a typo here. Okay, screen accounts created successfully. Okay, so let's minimize this. So we need to navigate to our app folder, and inside our need.py file, yeah, say import accounts views dot accounts, right? So let's open our home folder and the home.kv file. So this is going to be accounts, right? Let's get rid of this image. So let's open our accounts folder, then accounts.kv. Okay, let's go to our categories.kv. So let's just copy everything up until here. Control C, let's go to our accounts, then paste everything down here. So here we're gonna say accounts list. So this is going to be account, and this is going to be accounts. Okay, so let's get rid of this and this. We're just gonna need this categories and accounts. So let me just run this and see if our KV file is working properly. Okay, accounts. Okay, fine. So let's go to our categories.py and I'm just gonna copy everything from here. Then we're gonna go to accounts.py, then we're gonna paste it down here. So we need to import this. Okay, let's go back to our categories.py. We need to see. We need to get rid of this line. Okay. Let's import this. If video property is numeric property, okay. This also. So let's control D this, and we're gonna change this to add count. This one, control D everything, update count. This to delete account. Get or do this. So this is going to be get account. Make user ID. Import. Okay, so this is going to be import JSON. Going to import this also. Import cycle B2. Categories here. So this is going to be accounts. This is going to be the same. This is going to be count tab. So let's import this. This is going to be on. This is going to be on accounts. So D this. So this is going to be count. Need to import this confirm pop-up. Delete category. So this is going to be delete account. Okay. So this is going to be, we call it account or account model. So let me just check here. It's account model. Okay. Fine. So let's import this. Import. So this is going to be add count. This is going to be update count. So this is going to be add account callback. And this is going to be update account callback. this is going to be delete account callback. So let's just run this and see if it's working. Okay, accounts, add new, let's say checking. You should enter this account, yes. Okay, yes, now it should be. Let's go back here. Okay, let's go up here. Update account, set account. Okay, this is fine. Set into accounts, user ID, account. Okay. So what's going to be the problem now? Okay. So we called our table and account. Okay. This shouldn't be a problem. Okay, we need to change this to accounts. So let's run this and see if we're still gonna get some problems. Okay, so if you look at our overview, right, so we already have one account accounts tab, right? So this worked. So let's look at our accounts folder. So we have checking here. Okay, so let's try and update it to savings and update. Okay, this is updated fine. So let's try to delete this. Okay, this is working fine. So let's add checking. Savings. Let's add another one here. We're gonna say credit card. Let's just add another one. Business account. Okay, so this is working fine. So now we need to create our transaction screen, right? So let's go back to our text editor and open our terminal. Okay, so it's still in our views folder. So I just pressed up. Then here we're gonna say that. Okay, let's go back to our app folder, .py file. Here we're gonna say import that and views dot actions dot action. Okay, missing gives typos. So let's go to our home.kv and replace this screen here. Okay, let's get rid of our terminal. So I think we only need one. Let's get rid of Let's get rid of this. Don't think we want to need this. Okay, let me just read on this. Okay, so now let's open close this. We have our accounts open, so we need accounts.kv. Now we don't need the home, so let's open our transaction folder. We need transaction.kv and transaction.kv. So let's open accounts.kv and I'm just gonna copy everything. Same way we did with when we copied the categories kv file. So let's go to our transactions.kv and paste everything here. So this is going to be transactions. This is going to be search and list. So now we need to work on this part. So let's navigate to our assets folder, images. We have our transactions.png. So here we have ID, date, account. Okay, so we have all these, right? We need to put these, and we also need to add an import button. So let's go back to our transaction.kv, and we need to get rid of this account. No longer need it. Okay, let's copy this button and paste it here. So for now, we're just gonna get rid of this first. We're gonna make use of it when we're implementing the import button. For this one, I think we should say download. Okay, then this one I'm gonna say import. And now we need to let's look at our image again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to paste it 7 times. Let's copy this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Then you're gonna say date. This is going to be account, so this is going to remain the same. So, and this one is going to be category, type, recipient, and this one is going to be amount, and I believe this one should be method. Yeah, method. So let's run this and see if it's working okay. Okay, transactions is looking okay. So let's maximize this. We might need to maximize this so that we can see the data a little bit better. Okay, not bad. Let's go back to our text editor. So we need to get rid of this, and we're just going to focus on the transaction.py. So let's go to our accounts.py and we're going to copy everything. Let's first copy this. Okay. Then copy everything else from here. So let's import this. Excuse me. Okay, put this and this. So we need to create a transactions tab and transactions model. So let's go to our tables.py. So let's copy everything here. So this was count, and this one was this is going to be transaction. Okay, so so this one is going to be date. It's going to be account. It's going to be category. It's going to be type. It's going to be recipient, amount, method. I think we should add some notes here. So this is going to be notes, but then these notes are not going to be displayed unless you click on the transaction tab and the model opens up. That's when you're gonna see the notes. So for now, we're not gonna see the notes. Okay, so let's go back up here. Let's copy everything from here. So this is going to be that, and Control D, Control C. Okay, paste this right here. So let's copy this. So the first one was ID, then date, then account, category, type, look at our image, recipient, amount, and method. Okay. Excuse me. So our transaction tab is it's done. I believe it's done. So let's go back to our transactions.py. So after we've finished working on our transactions.py, right, that's when we can be sure that our transaction tab is working okay. So okay, control this, this. So this is going to be transaction tab. Okay, for this. So let's see here. So this was date, amount, category, type, recipient, amount, method. So did you leave anything out? Okay, and no notes. Let's see. Okay, we need to import this. So let's control D this one. So this one is going to be add transactions. This one is going to be update transactions. This one is going to be delete transactions. Okay, this is going to be yet transactions. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be on transactions. This one is going to be transactions list. So this one is going to be date. This one is going to be count, T, story, type, recipient, amount, method, and this is going to be notes. And it's going to be delete transaction, and it's going to be delete transaction callback. Okay. This one is going to be add transaction. This is going to be a transaction callback. So this is going to be update transaction. So this is going to be update transaction callback. Okay. Let's try to run this. Area phone accounts. Says okay, we didn't get any error, so our transaction tab must be working properly. So let's work on our transaction model. Okay, so if you navigate to our models.py, right? Let's copy everything from here. To here. So this is going to be transaction. So transaction model. Transaction model. So if we go here, scroll down here, this is going to be date. So we have transaction add here. Okay, we don't have it in our images, so let's get rid of transaction.png. Okay, so here let's put an MD label, because what I'm thinking is we don't have to enter the date manually, because KivyMD already has a date widget. So let's try to make use of that one. So here I'm just gonna put an MD label. Then I'm gonna give you an ID of date. Font style is going to be label. Row is going to be small. Okay, so we need to get rid of this text field here. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put an MD icon, but we're gonna put it inside a float layout. So we're gonna say size int x. We're gonna set it to none, and our width is going to be self.height. Then here we're gonna say MD icon button. Our icon is going to be a calendar. Theme text. Color, we're gonna set it to custom. And our text color going to be AD8A8C. Then we're gonna say on press going to be root dot show 8 picker. So we haven't created this function yet, but we're gonna create it once we finish working on the KV styling. So underneath this one, we're gonna put a box layout. right? So if we look at our, let's open this. So we have a date, so we have account. So I think this one we're gonna make use of the drop down, custom drop down we created earlier. Then we're gonna make use of this custom drop down here and here also, and on this one. Okay, there are a lot of drop downs, but anyways, let me copy this, open to here, and paste it here. So this here is going to be account. The ID here is going to be account. Need to get rid of this, and we're gonna say text. So our text is going to be select bank account type dot. And we close this. And this one is going to be our custom drop down. So we're not gonna add values here. We're gonna add values in the using a KV code. So it's gonna fetch the values from database, then it's going to populate this drop down using the id.account. So we need to copy this, paste it underneath there, just paste it 4 times. Okay, so here calendar account. So this one needs to be category. Sorry, and this one is going to be select category. Here we just say transaction, so it's going to be select transaction category. The next one was type, if I'm not mistaken. So this one is going to be type select so it's going to be select transaction type. So here we're gonna say values. So the first one is going to be expense, and the other one is going to be income. So now we go to the next one. Here it's going to be recipient. Here is going to be text field. Recipient. Multi-line. Going to be post and int text. I'm gonna say, let's just say who is receiving the funds. You have something to better put here, you just gotta put it, because I'm not even down with this one myself, but anyways, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Next to recipient, what did we have? Amount and method. Okay, this was the recipient, amount, then method. Okay, so let's copy this. Test it one more time. So this was amount. This is supposed to be a text field. Multi-line. Going to be false. Input filter. Since we're gonna be recording amount, so we're just gonna set it to float. Then in text, let's just say amount transacted. So this one is going to be method. So here we're gonna say select payment method. Here we're gonna say values. So the first one we're just gonna say cash, right? The second one we're gonna say bank funds. Third one I'm gonna say debit card, and the last one we're just gonna say credit card. So if you want to put cash up there, just feel free, you can just put cash up there. Then we need to add notes, so let's copy this. But notes, we can have a lot of notes, so we need to up the height from 30. Let's put it at 90. Then what we can do is put a box layout. Then we're gonna put this size index inside that box layout, and we're gonna give it some orientation of vertical. Let's see. So we need to take this inside, then we're gonna put an empty box layout underneath this MD label. So this one is going to be text field, and when I have an ID of notes, so we need to get rid of these two and put int text of so this is going to be transaction notes. Then here we're gonna say optional. Okay, so now we need to work on this part. Okay, so let's just copy this. So this one is going to be transaction model. So here we're gonna say, so this is going to be on date. So when the date variable is disturbed, this one is going to be update transaction. So let's go back here. Okay, so this one is going to be add transaction. Okay, so let's just copy this from here and paste it underneath here. So let's go to our tables.py, right? I'm just gonna copy this and let's go back to our models.py. I think we're gonna need our user ID. So let's just say user ID, go to this, put a numeric property. Let's just give it, so let's just put a 0 as a placeholder. So the first one is date, the second one is count, then category, and this one is going to be type, this one is going to be recipient, one is going to be amount, name, this one is name, this will be our tables, so this one should be method. Let's look at our transaction.py. Okay, so this is fine over here. Okay, method, and notes 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, let's get rid of these. Okay, so now we need to create our, what did we call it? Okay, here, show date picker function. So let's just create it up here. Fine. So you're gonna say date picker is equals to MD model date picker. Okay, so if you do Control D, right? So this is going to be from kivy.ux.pickers import MD model date picker. Okay. Here we're gonna say date picker dot line. We're gonna say on, okay, first to self, dot on underscore date underscore okay. So we're gonna copy this and paste it down here. So this is going to be on cancel, and this one is going to be on date cancel. Then you're gonna say date picker dot open. Now we're gonna say define on date okay. So it's gonna do self, then instance underscore date underscore picker. So here we're gonna say self dot ads dot date dot text, and to be string of instance dot date picker dot get underscore date function and index 0. Then we're gonna say instance dot date picker dot dismiss. And now we're gonna say define on date cancel. We're gonna say comma instance underscore date underscore picker. We're gonna say let's just copy this line over here. Okay, so this function should when we select OK, we're gonna select the term that we've selected, but when we say cancel, so it's supposed to close the mdemo.datepicker widget, right? So let's just run this. Let's go back to our transactions.py and change these to transaction model. Okay, so we import this. So let's run this, see if everything is working out. Okay, transactions, add new. Okay, so we can see our icon here. Okay, so it's appearing down here because we didn't give this a position here. So let's just press it. Okay, so here is our date widget, right? So if we press OK, now our date is set to 5 February 2025. Okay, so let's go back to our text editor and let's go to our models.py. Need to give this icon a position hint. So date color. Okay, so here we're gonna say pause hint. This is going to be center x, which is going to be 0.5. Then center y, we're gonna set it to 0.5 also. Okay, so let's go back down. So now we need to make sure that we get our categories and our accounts from the database. So that's what we're gonna work on now. Need to add a function here. Here we're gonna say define underscore need right here we're gonna say keyword argument, right? So star args, and we're gonna say super okay, and here we're gonna say self dot let's just go back to our transactions.py file, right? We need to copy this. Let's just copy it from here. Let's go back to our models.py and get rid of this file. So we've imported this one, we've copied it into our transaction.model, right? So that when we populate this user ID, right, then we're going to use this user ID to get our accounts and our categories. So now let's work on getting our categories and our accounts. So here we're going to say define show accounts. And it's going to be self, right? Okay, let's scroll up here. Let's go back to our transactions. So we need to copy this. Okay, I'm gonna need these. So let's just place them at the top like that. Okay, so let's import this. Okay, let's import this. So now we're gonna say select star from sheet show account. So this is going to be accounts where user ID is equals to so this is going to be okay. So since our user ID is a numeric property, right? So this is going to be turned into a string. So we're gonna say self dot user ID right here, and then we're gonna say so let's just say Control Z and leave it the way it was. Okay, so we're just gonna leave it like this, right? This one we need to say self dot ideas dot category dot yes dot spinner dot values is equals to we need to create an empty string and call it spinner values. So let's put it here. So this is going to be an empty list, right? So what we're gonna do is we need to append whichever account we get to our spinner values, right? So here, I don't need to close it because we're always closing after this finally. So we need to get rid of this. So yeah, let's say we're showing show account, so I'm gonna say account underscore equals to x index 2, if I'm not mistaken, right? So then here we're gonna say inner values dot and account. This need to shift tab this one. Just create some space so that everything looks okay. Let's move this one and let's move it inside here. Let me just Control Z. Okay, so let's copy this and paste it here. We're gonna say self dot. So this is show account. So I'm just gonna run this and see if this works. Okay, problem enter X. Count. So date picker position int. Count. Pop it is not attribute. Let me just try this and see. Yeah, okay. It's no attribute yet. Okay, so let's try something. Let's get rid of this spinner and ideas. I hope this works. Account. Okay. Now, what seems to be the problem? Self.ideas.category. Okay, let's try something else. Let's get rid of this and this. Let's shift tab this. I want to see something. If this works, we're just gonna leave it like this for now, then we're gonna come back to it later. Okay. So the ideas dot winner. Because if you open up buttons.py, right? So we give this custom drop down this ID, an ID, right? So inside this ID and this spinner, oh, I see, we need to give this spinner an ID. So this is going to have an ID of spinner, right? So let's go back to our models and it's gonna control this Z, this. Okay, now we're gonna say dot ds dot spinner. Now this should work. What? Okay. Okay, let's run this. I need to check something before I try to mess up the code somehow. Okay, so let's open our transaction screen and add new, right? So yeah, it's not working, right? Okay, I see where the problem was. So we need to fix account and category. So we need to fix their IDs. Right? So let's go back to our text editor and let's go up here. Okay, so this is date. Okay, fine. Account, it's account. Category, it's category. Okay, let's go back to our models down here. Okay, so this one needs to be out, right? So I'm definitely sure some of you will be screaming through the screens like, bruh, you really messed up a little bit of something. But anyways, let's just continue with the tutorial. So let me just copy this here and paste it down here. So this one is going to be categories, and this one is going to be categories. Okay, category underscore, this is going to be category. So, and now we need to call this self dot. Okay, so let's run this. Count. Okay. Okay. So yes. Notes. We need to work on these notes. We need to make it like 30 display pixels. Give it a height of 30 display pixels so that it moves upwards and becomes excuse me, and it comes in line with this text over here. So let's text okay, 5. So we didn't put the a transaction code yet. We haven't updated it to work for the transactions window. We're gonna do that after we fix this notes part. Then we should be able to add date and whatever we have in our transaction database. So let's go back to excuse me, to our models.py. So we are not. So here we say size int y. We're gonna set it to none, and we're gonna give this a height of 30 display pixels. Okay, so this is looking okay. So now I believe we can close the models.py. And let's just keep it open until we finish with the transaction.py file. Okay, here Yes. So first we have date. Okay. This is going to be date, and this is going to be the account. To be category is going to be type. Recipient, amount, method, and notes. Okay. Down here, excuse me. So let's paste this P45. Okay. So the first one was 8, and the second one, we scroll up here so I can see what I'm doing. Count, and this is category. The next one is soft account category. We have type, then recipient, then we have amount, then method, then notes. So we need to get this last one here. So we have somewhere we're using drop down, right? So what we need to do is, let's say we're selecting method, right? We need to say dot IDS dot spinner, right? So let me copy this. Okay, so we use type as a drop down. Also need to put it here. Same with category and account. So date, okay, we use the date widget for that one. Recipient, we're just gonna type in the name. Amount, we need to enter it manually, and notes, so we have 4 drop downs. Okay, in here, so here we're gonna say date equals to nothing. You'll see this. Okay, for account. So okay, fine, let's just put this for now, then we're just gonna solve it later. In a category, type, or recipient, or amount, or method. So we say the notes is optional, so we're not gonna put notes here because it's optional. Okay, so if date is empty, if recipient is empty, and amount, so method we need to, okay, let's make our screen bigger. So let's go to models. So if method is equals to transactions.py, so let's paste it here. Then amount is empty, recipient. So now we need a type. So let's go to category. then count. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. This one is. So let's put a comma and now copy this. I'm gonna paste it. So the first one was date. Okay, date is fine. So this one is going to be count. Category. Type. Recipient. Amount. Method. And notes. Okay. So this is going to excuse me, this is going to be date. This is going to be account. This is going to be category. This is going to be type. This is going to be recipient. This is going to be amount. This is going to be method. And this is going to be notes. Okay, so let's get rid of these three. What do we need to do here? We're just gonna copy these in a transaction callback up here. We're gonna paste them underneath this ID. Control D, Control C, this one. So let's say Control D, then paste it here. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this comma. So let's copy this. And we're gonna paste it right after this ID. So let's just copy everything up to here. Then we're gonna paste it here. Okay. So this one's going to be 32 transactions, user ID. This is going to be 8. Count. Category. Type. Recipient. Amount. Method. Notes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Self-producer ID. So this one is 8. Count. Category. Type. Recipient. Amount. Method. Notes. Okay, so this should be able to add transactions. So let's just test it out. Okay, add new account from let's just say credit card category, good, type, and recipient. Let's say, okay, let's just say Whole Foods. Amount, let's just say 80. Okay, let's go to our models. Let's look for amount. Input filter, we set it to float, right? We need to get rid of this text here. Okay, transactions. Okay, account, savings. Amount is just 80. Just leave it a bank transfer. Okay. Date. Let's see. Okay, ID date. Get up transactions to buy. So instance.ids of text. Okay, so let's run this. So what I'm assuming is we added the information correctly, right? But when we try to send back when we call the get transaction function, right, we hadn't updated the one we copied from our accounts.py file, right? So that's why the error was popping up. That's why we're getting the date error being thrown at us, because it didn't have the date when we wanted it to fetch from. So let's try adding data here. Okay, so date, let's just say 5 Feb. Account, let's just say credit card. Category, good. Transaction type, payments. Recipient, let's just say Woolworths. Amount 80. Payment method, credit card. Let's just leave the note of empty because it's optional. Okay, yes. Okay, so now we have added our information here. So we can let's first see if we can edit. Let's say finish the editing part of this transaction tab. Then we can check if we can delete stuff. Okay, so let's go back to our text editor. So okay, and now here we are with the date, right? So you're gonna set date transaction set. So you're gonna say date. So let's go to this. Okay. So this one is date. Here we're gonna say count. Category is going to be type. Recipient. Amount. So this is going to be method, and this is going to be notes where IDs. Okay, this is looking okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna copy this. Then paste it here. Then I'm just gonna control this, control D this one. So this should fix this. So let's run this. Okay, so our expenses tab on our overview updated itself. So let's go back to transactions. Click this. Let's put 53 here. Where ID goes. Okay, so when we copied our information from the add function, add transaction function, we didn't add ID here. So ID is going to be instance dot ID. Okay, so this should fix it. So let's run this. Okay, Let's change this to 40. Date of relation transactions does not exist. Okay, so if we look at our x.py file, right? So there's this there's a few lines of code we added, right? So I'm gonna upload the updated version of this x.py file, right? So what we did is we changed the name from date to datex. So if you go to our transactions, right, here, so this is going to be datex. So let's rerun this and see if that's the issue we're facing here. Okay, transactions. Let me add a 0 here. Okay, so we've updated successfully. Let's check our overview. Okay, this is updated. So let's check if our delete function is working. Okay, so our delete function is working well. So I believe we're done with the transaction screen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create the settings screen. And when I'm done with that, I'll come back to the transaction screen. Then I'm gonna start working on imports and the rest of the application. So let's go to terminal, right? Let me just pull this up. I'm just gonna press up and get rid of transactions. Yeah, call it setting or settings, because I think settings is gonna give us a problem. Okay. Let's open our indeed.py. So here we're gonna say import setting views dot setting dot settings. Let's close this. Let's open our home.kv. Let's get rid of this and we'll say setting excuse me. Then let's open account kv. Let's just copy this part. And we're gonna close it. Okay, so let's get rid of terminal. Let's open a setting dot the setting.kv file. Let me just paste this here. So let me get rid of this. This models. I'm gonna need this. I need this buttons. So let's see. Okay, so let's open our setting.py. Right. Let's go to our assets folder. So we're not gonna need this accounts.py. So let me close it, then minimize this, minimize overview, minimize transactions. We're not gonna need it. Minimize widgets. So let's in our assets, let's open our image. Okay, settings.png. So this is what we're trying to recreate, right? Okay. So upload the avatar, connect, and subscribe. But what I'm gonna do for now is I'm just gonna let's say if you press this button, you're just gonna get an error message, this and this. Then we're gonna work on these later. So for now, let's open our settings.py and user is equals to string property then avatar is equals to string property also. Then on enter here we will say session let's call file is equals to session.json. Then we're going to say with open session file so we're going to read from this. Then as file, then we're going to say session is equals to JSON. Let's import this. So this is going to be JSON.load file. Then we're going to say self.user equals to session.get username. And we're going to say self.avatar equals to f assets images. Then here we should say session.get username .png. What did I make an error here? I think here we should put one single one. I see. Okay. And you're gonna say define change avatar. So you're gonna say change avatar is equals to morning pop-up change avatar dot title equals to say oops feature not yet implemented. Then we're gonna say change avatar dot open. So let's copy this, paste it 2 more times. This one is just say let's look at our image, connect, then subscribe. So this one is going to be connect, and this one is going to be subscribe. Okay, so let's close this. Now let's work on our settings.kv. So inside this box layout, right, I'm gonna put a name D label. And let's give it size int y of none, and the height we're gonna set it to 30 display pixels. We're gonna set the text to settings, font style. We're gonna set it to title. Yeah, title is fine. Title raw going to be medium, bold going to be true. Underneath this label, we're gonna put a box layout. Gonna give it some spacing of 10 display pixels. Inside this box layout, I'm gonna put 2 box layouts. Create another space here. Inside the first box layout, I'm gonna give this a size index. I'm gonna set it to none, and the width we're gonna set it to, let's say, 280 display pixels. 250. Let's say 250 display pixels. We're gonna give this some padding of 10 display pixels and spacing of 10 display pixels. Let's give this some orientation of vertical. So here, let's put a label. Let's copy this and we're gonna tape this inside. This is going to be profile, and this, let's say, label. And let's look at our image. Okay, so this is a grayish color, right? So at the bottom, I'm gonna say color, and I'm gonna say AD, 8A, 8C. So we've been using this grayish color throughout the tutorial. Okay, underneath here, let's look at our image. That's where we're gonna put an avatar. Okay. So you're gonna say box layout, and we're gonna say size, and Y, we're gonna set it to none, and our height, we're gonna set it to self.width. Let's give this some heading. Let's say 20 display pixels. And inside this box layout, we're gonna add a box layout. Then we're gonna say, let me just copy from the top here. This should be self.height of.height, so that it's gonna be a circle. Then here, I'm gonna say source. Source is going to be root dot avatar. So here we're gonna put an MD label. Let me just copy some of So our height here, let's reduce it to 20. Text, let's say root dot user. Here we're gonna say more. I think we should align this to the same. Let's look at our settings. PNG. Okay, yeah. So we have a username here. Excuse me. So we have a username here and it's aligned to the center. So let's just say H align center. Okay. Underneath here we'll say box layout. And I'll give this size int of 35, size int for y, and we're gonna give this a height of 35 display pixels. And inside here we're gonna put a custom button. We're gonna what's the plan here? Let's say okay, let's give it an icon. Icon is going to be load dash outline. Text is going to be upload new avatar. Excuse me. Then when I say size and score X, we're gonna set it to none, and our width we're gonna set it to 170 display pixels. Then on place we're gonna say root dot change avatar. Okay. Okay, let's put an empty box layout here. Let's run this for now. See if it looks okay. Okay, we have an error. Okay, let's open need.py. Settings. This should be vertical, right? Okay, we need to check these inside. Okay, let's run this again. Okay. I think we should have put another empty box layout on the right side so that the button will get the center. Then we'll put an empty box layout underneath everything so that everything will be pushed upwards. Yeah. Okay. So here we're gonna put a box layout. Here we say layout. So let me copy this. Okay. Here I'm gonna say size int x. Let's look at our image real quick. So we seem to have a faint grayish line here. Okay, let's go back to our setting about KV. Say none, then our width, and I set it to 1 display pixels. Let's go up here, copy this. Wait. Okay. So here's AAC. This also, and we're just gonna make this a rectangle. Okay, this gets some space for us here. Okay, so in the last box layout, put an orientation, and we're gonna set it to vertical. Then we're gonna give this some padding of 10 display pixels and facing 10 display pixels. Inside this box layout, we're gonna put an MD label. Okay, so let me copy the profile one. Settings, profile, okay, one. So this one is going to be, let's look at our image. This one is going to be connectivity. And underneath this MD label, I'm going to put a box layout. Then let's look at our image. So we're going to put a box layout, right? This one is going to contain this label, and this button. So after we're done with this one, we're just going to duplicate it in this label, and this button also. So you're going to say size and y. I'm going to set it to none. Height. I'm going to set it to 35 display pixels. I'm going to give this some spacing of 10 display pixels. Inside this box layout, we're going to put an MD label. I'm going to say size in X, set to none. I set it to 170 display pixels. Text is going to be bank account. Okay. Okay, taking on small caps. Font style is going to be label or so let's make it small and bold, set it to true. Let's just copy this. So let's get rid of this size effects and this bold true. Let's look at our image. I say there's no bank account connected. Okay. Okay. Then we should have a button at the end. Okay. Custom button. Let's this. Set it to 120. Too small, we can adjust it. Icon or icons. Let's look at our image. Yeah, that's a link. This say link text reconnect. And now on press to be dot connect. So let's copy this. Okay, the second one is subscription. Just go to settings. So this is going to be subscribe. Let's make this one C caps. Okay, so this one is subscription. Here we're gonna say you haven't subscribed gain of features. Okay, to gain access to all features. To all features. Let's look at our image. Okay, let's run this. Just need to put an empty box layout underneath so that we push everything upwards. Okay, so to be the Ishmael, you haven't This gray color is, let's just make it maybe F1. Then we're gonna make this this box layout a little bit. Yeah, it's too big. Just gonna reduce the size, the width. Okay, oops, feature node. Yeah, I need to put it. Okay. Okay. Let's click here. Where did you put the line? F1. $250 here. Let's say 2. Padding here, let's reduce it to 17. And let's go to our settings. Try. This is yet. Okay. Okay, so our output is looking much better. Our line is much better, and we fixed the oops feature not yet implemented statement. Okay, so now we can close.